Welcome back, everybody, to the SmackDown Motel. Another fun episode again with me and Bren, my little co-star himself. We're going to be chatting about SmackDown, obviously, but as well as that, we will have a bit of announcement towards the end of the show. For me, actually, so I will be saying it. Um, Bren, how are you getting on with your day, and how was your day today? Let me know, and let the fans know as well.
Well, Keith, thank you for asking. How am I today? Anybody that's been watching the shows knows that I was at a football event today and it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. This was the football event. It was the Borough Legends. It was Kelly's Heroes versus the Premiership Legends, and absolute cracker of a day. What you see in that picture is you see the World Cup, the Champions League Cup, and the FA Cup, and the Premier League title. You see myself, you see Niall, and you see Mark from the comments,
What
and
a photo.
From the Monday Night Football show. This day was special. It was a very, very, very good special occasion. It was for a hospice, and when it comes to something like that, you do all you can. And I have to say, from the Sally Noggin in, which was where the meet and greets were, all the way through to the Stradbrook Rugby Hotel. Absolutely phenomenal. And can I just give a special shout out to the Sally Noggin Inn? Seriously, they looked after everybody. The meet and greet went so smoothly. The food, the drinks, it was all phenomenal. And I have to say, really, really, really good day today. There's going to be more of these. Keep an eye on the channel because there is going to be more of these. And it's an absolute a genuine ball, and a special shout out to the Premier League, the Premiership Legends, and the Kelly's Heroes teams. Everybody was an absolute diamond. One of my personal favourites was there, Brian McClare. What an absolute legend! I got to meet him at a previous event, and I got to meet him today. I got to meet Wes Brown. It was incredible. And I got to meet Jason McAteer, Ireland legend, not Liverpool legend. Ireland legend Jason McAteer. And I'd never met him before. It was so surreal. I used to have a World Cup '94 Ireland frame on my wall, and Jason McAteer, of course, was part of that. And today really meant a lot. And to be part of it was really, really phenomenal. And I can't wait till the next event. Niall had a blast, and Mark had a blast. And it was just a really, really, really good day. So keep an eye on the channel. And I honestly, next time an event like this happens, and it will, please come along. An absolute blast. Always a good cost, always a
100%.
good cause. And I just really enjoyed it. So, Keith, you asked how I am. I am absolutely shattered because I was in charge of the photographs, the videos today, all that stuff. And even that was a blast, you know what I mean? And I got to talk to some of the players. Unfortunately, there was no interviews, but that's okay. I did get to speak to some of them, and to just even to watch, because Brian McClare is a Celtic player, an ex-Celtic player. Even to watch Celtic Hearts go
Mm.
1-0 up on Celtic, and everyone going yay, and everyone just looking at Brian McClare going sorry, sorry about that. It was legendary. So listen, next event.
Unfortunately, Celtic won, didn't they, in the end? So they end up beating
No,
Hearts. So
no,
yeah,
that was very fortunate. I was delighted for Celtic, and it was a really, really good day. But look, the match was brilliant. The show out was great. It was just an all around great day. But I am shattered today, Keith, I have to say. But you know what? I'm really, really happy, and it's great to be here, right here on the upper tier for the SmackDown Motel. Let's get into it.
well, Brian,
Or
we
if you
won't
want,
keep you for too much longer. We know you need your bedtime soon. So look, we'll get it underneath the hour mark for you, and so you can get a nice fucking beauty
well,
sleep.
last week was bleeding 2 hours, Keith. 2 weeks ago was 2 hours. So, do you know what I mean? We'll
Don't
take
worry,
some
won't be doing
comments, will
that.
we?
Yeah, we'll take some comments before we get into the show. Anyway,
What's up,
evening,
Baz?
Barry.
Good to see you, my man.
Sharon, what's
Sharon's
the
in.
story?
Hey, lads. How are you,
Dave,
Sharon?
what's the crack?
There you are, Dave. All right, my man. Hey, Barry, Bren, Sharon. Oh, I just said my name twice there. I apologize. How are you, lads? Anto, good to see you, man. And my niece Casey says
Oh,
hello. Casey, how are you getting on? Welcome to the show. Good to have you aboard as we break down SmackDown. And that would be that be the comments. So there you go.
well, here we go. We'll start off at SmackDown NXT. Look, the opening show, it was Trick Williams coming out to a sensational pop for the homeboy himself. Great to see the pop. It was absolutely sensational. I thought it was great to see him coming out. in his hometown. And yeah, throughout it all, then The Miz came out with Kit Wilson. I didn't really like this promo that much. Wasn't really a big fan of it, but you know what? The match itself was good. I quite enjoyed it. What did you think, Bren, overall?
It was deadly. I really liked it. I thought Trick Williams was deadly. Even the yacht fella, the bow fella, he was class. He
Yeah,
was. He
yeah.
was very good. We found out why they're called lemon pepper steppers. That was a
Finally,
mystery to
yeah,
me. That was a
yeah,
mystery to me.
finally.
I didn't know what a lemon pepper stepper was. I actually just thought it was a chicken wing, to be honest with you. But apparently, it's shoes named after a chicken wing rub, if you will. Look, the tiny balls thing was a bit crap, but anything other than that, I actually really liked it. The Miz to me is great, and it was. Did you notice as well at the back of the Miz's pants not coursed? It
No, I
was
didn't actually notice that.
it was
No.
very funny, not coarse. That it was very, very funny. The only criticism I have here is that the Kit Wilson thing. I think they've kind of dropped the ball a bit, and I think they're gonna.
Mhm.
I think they need to spice that up ASAP because the Kit Wilson thing. Otherwise, and I hate to say this because it's gonna come across as very insensitive. Otherwise, he'll be on the list next year of people who are let go because I think
So, what do you think they
WWE
need to
are.
do then?
I think they need to double down on the gimmick and push him a bit more forward. Um,
Like push him
or
away from the Miz, do you mean, and just do his own thing?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I do, and have the Miz go off and do his own thing, and maybe end this thing with Danhausen. But yeah, look, that's my only thing. But look, like you said, the match itself was very, very good. And then
I
after
enjoyed
that,
the match.
we got to see the return of Carmelo Hayes, which is something we've spoken about. What did you think
I
of that,
was,
my man?
I was gonna bring that into it. There was a backstage segment then with Carmelo Hayes and explain why he's been out for a while and all this. And then Ricky Saints comes in to the backstage segment of it all.
Uh,
Yeah, I can't really take to this guy at the moment, to be honest with you, Bren. Look, it may take some time. Maybe I can eventually get into him, but right now it's like it's kind of a nothing thing, to be honest with you. What do you make of it?
Right, so I was hoping Dave would be on. So Dave couldn't make it. It was a maybe as to whether
Mm,
if he's going to be on tonight. And I was hoping he could be on. But I will talk to Dave about this separately. Maybe we'll talk about it on Tuesday. But I know I'll probably talk to Dave about it in between because Dave knows he's shizzled, as they say, when it comes to this stuff, right? Look, here's the deal. I'm not taking to this guy either. I said it a few weeks ago. Ricky Saints. I don't even think Ricky Saints expected to have so little reaction, and he has Everest to
mm,
climb in order to do anything. And to me, I stand by what I said a few weeks ago. People often compare him to The Rock. I don't. I compare him to the actor that played The Rock in the TV show because that's what
yeah,
he's like.
yeah,
He's like an imitation of an imitator, and I
yeah.
don't like that. He needs to go off and he needs to do his own thing, and something needs to give because I said it last week and I'll say it again. Saints is going to be on that list next year. And I get it's a cruel statement to make, but he's going to be on that list next year. He's not.
I,
He doesn't have people eating out of the palm of his hands. In his head, I think he's like the people's champ. He's like the Rock. He's like 1999 The Rock. Everybody sing along, all that stuff. Don't sing along with the Rock. No, he's not like that. He's not like that. And
like,
as we go on, sorry.
sorry, Brand, sorry interrupting you. Like, to be honest with you, when you look at it, I look at Trick Williams, and everybody seems to compare him to Booker T. He kind of has small similarities to Booker T, in my opinion, right? But overall, the guy has charisma. He has a lot going for him. He's a future champion, right? And a lot what he can take to him, especially his little catchphrase, "Whoop that trick," as everybody loves to say. you know. But when it comes to Ricky Saints, he's kind of bland to me. He doesn't really stand out. Do you know? And I
Well,
just feel like he needs to be either repackaged or I don't know what you could do with him right now, to be honest with you, because
you
the
bring up a
fans aren't
great
taking
point.
to him. Yeah,
You bring up a great point. You compare him to Trick Williams, and it's not even close. It's not. This isn't Triple H versus The Rock in 98, 99.
yeah,
It's not
yeah.
even close. And this is the thing. You have to be stepping up to the bar. And the bar at the moment, in my opinion, is Trick Williams. And if you're not stepping up there, prepared to be mid to lower card and prepared to see your ass out in the next year, maybe two if you're lucky.
And that's the thing about it as well. Nobody's unless you're a main event, big money drawing person that gets merch and all this. You're not going to survive in the WWE if you
Mm-mm.
don't fucking buck up and quick. That's the
No,
thing. Like,
sir.
do you know? Um, But no, on to the next one. So the next match, there was a tag team match with Paige and Brie. Now we know we're not the biggest Bella fans, as you know, but it's also was Julia and who was it? Who was the other one again? That was with
Kiana
Julia.
James. Kiana
Kiana
James.
James. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. Kiana James. Sorry. What did you make of this? There was a backstage segment there with Nia and Legend, but it was kind of just
Not
nothing
relevant.
really. Thing not
Not relevant.
relevant. Exactly,
And
not
in
relevant.
fact, Sami Zayn came after that and it was a lot better. Listen, the deal with this is right. Here, here's my takeaway from that match: zero reaction for the women's tag team
Mm-hmm.
champions. Zero, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Nikki comes back, I nearly said Nikki Hayes. That's a DJ in Ireland.
Nikki
Sorry.
Bella.
When Nikki Bella comes back, look, it's going to be the same. Here's my deal, and I'm going to sound like a broken record. The Bellas shouldn't be in the position that they're in, especially when they're pushing the likes of Bailey out. You know what I mean? Bailey is 10 times both of them, and it just annoyed me to see it. Now, Keith, I am going to say something that's going to contradict what I said a little bit. The match was okay, and even Brie Bella had moments where she was okay. I said I'd call it. I did say, look, I said if I was wrong, I'd call it, and I'm calling it now. It was okay, but unfortunately, I just don't connect with them, and that's all there is to it. So look, it was what it was. I, but it didn't mean anything to
I
me.
feel Paige's booking since she's come back from WrestleMania has kind of been a bit meh, to be quite honest with you. It's
Well,
like
look who she's paired up with.
that's what I mean. Yeah, like it just they could have done a hell of a lot better with this and put her with somebody else that's a hell of a lot better. Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
I know you're not the biggest fan of Paige, aren't you? I think you said that to me. It might have
No, I
been
like
you.
Paige. I like Paige.
Or was it with them? Someone else
Um,
had said it to me then
I
on our panel.
I really like Paige. I think Paige is great. I
I'm a
I
fan of
feel
hers. Like
for
I
her.
think she's great. Like do you know, but it's
She,
just
she she deserves a lot better. She's up there with the Bellas, and unfortunately, I do. Again, I think it outweighs it. I think there's more people out there that just kind of dislike the Bellas because they represent an era
yeah.
that should have that they should have been gone with that era. They should be back in that era, and that's all there is to it. Now, in saying that, like I said, like the match in itself was okay, but because of everything, the foundations of it, I feel nothing for it.
No, and I feel the same as well. And like you just know what's going to happen at the end of this. Like, and is this going to be like an extension because Nikki Bella hasn't held the title yet with her sister? Are we going to get this for another couple of more months when she does come back, or was this going to be like a stint from WrestleMania to SummerSlam that they're only going to give that certain amount of title? You know, in a sense, up until then. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't particularly want them to hold the title. I just don't care at this fucking point of time. Like, you know, but look, we'll see what happens going forward, you know, but will we take
See
some
what
comments
happens.
anyway before we,
Let's
yeah,
do it, my friend. Dave Kelly's in. Layla says, "Hey gang, she was out all day. She went to see The Devil Wears Barada too, so she's only catching
nice.
up on SmackDown now, and she'll catch up with you all next week, Layla. That's perfectly okay. We'll see you next week." Sharon can't take the Ricky Saints either.
No,
Either can we. We find Saints very bland, says Dave Kelly. Um, Ricky is a pox bottle that should have stayed in NXT. Thank you very much, Anto. I'm in full agreeing with you because I don't think people should be elevated up until they reach that kind of level where it looks like something's going to click, which is what David says here. Something has got to click. We have Sharon in. Now, Sharon, I have to say, I kind of disagree with you here. I love Ethan Page. I absolutely love him. I know you said you're not sure about him, but there's something about him. He has that X factor, I think, and I think he will grow on you, maybe. But it'll be interesting to see how it develops. So do let us know as it develops. Saints
mm,
did not get the reaction he was expecting. I think Sharon, you're spot on. I couldn't agree with you more. Kiana is
she is, yeah,
absolutely fabulous.
she is,
100% Sharon,
yeah.
as always on the money. Page is making Brie more interesting. Yeah, but I mean, is she Dave? I mean, is she Dave? I mean, it's not. It's just
Like
not.
out of the two Bellas, she's probably the most talented one out of the two, and that's not saying a lot, but you know what I
Well,
mean.
Anto agrees with you. Love Bailey, Dara. Of course,
Mm.
I also love Bailey, and I think her treatment by the WWE is ridiculous. She should be leading. like she should be leading the women's section. So that's all there is to it. Bran Bree is the better twin, 100%, Dave. I agree with you. The Bellas had their time and did quite well, but not for 2026. Again, I agree with you. Really happy Paige is back in the
Yeah,
WWE. Yes, sir.
same. Yep.
100% delighted for her, but she does deserve better. Last comment before we move on. Fan video I seen said Paige gets taken out
Page got
when
Nikki
Nikki
out.
comes back. She comes back at SummerSlam. Say Nikki Attacker starts the rivalry. AJ Lee and Paige back as a tag team. Yeah, you said that to me, Anto, to be fair to you. You were saying that to me the other day. And look, wouldn't be a bad shout, but again, are we what are we doing there? Are we it's kind of like we're moving a dead horse around. That's all we're doing. That part of the industry is dead, in my opinion, and we're just moving the dead horse around. Get rid of it. Get rid of it
See,
because
the problem is, Bren, is that we have them for another 2 years, and that's the issue.
yeah, but like just on what they're saying on the fan video, it's like this. Like because there was a segment after this where Chelsea Green is back, right? And we
Mhm.
knew she was coming back. She's part of the graphic of the show here, and even Chelsea Green, like look at the work she does. It's stellar, absolute stellar, and
I love
unfortunately,
this. I wanted to bring this up. I love this segment. I thought it was
it was
great.
incredible. It was incredible,
Great.
but unfortunately, the Bella area, bringing back Paige, and I like Paige. No, not Paige. AJ Lee. Oh, man, just get rid of it. Let AJ Lee come back if she wants to come back and do her own thing. Because I really like watching AJ Lee. I think she's brilliant. Paige as well. But the Bellas, it's time to go. Fair point, bud. No problem. Anto, thank you very
Yeah,
much. I would love to get Paige versus EJ.
that would be a good
EJ.
match.
EJ.
EJ.
Uh,
Who the feck
I
is
don't know about
EJ?
that, Dave. Is AJ not fighting Fury at the end of the year? Hey, hey,
Hey.
hey, I'm here
We
all
already
week.
got that match, didn't we? Before AJ Lee
Yeah,
and Paige. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. AJ Lee and the Bellas are the same generation. As much as I love AJ, Chelsea is one of my favorite women wrestlers. Absolutely. So, you loved the Chelsea Green section, Keith. You thought it
Yeah.
was brilliant. She came up to Stratton, and it was very good. I also thought it was very good. Good to see her back. What?
I love to see what they're doing with these two girls. Are they actually going to pair them together, or are they just seeing how this is going to pan out? Like, do you remember what they did ages ago with Charlotte and Alexa? Did they actually just fall into something here that they just think, oh, we might have something here, and it's like an actual diamond between the two because the two have good chemistry together.
Maybe. Let's see what happens. Either
Do
way,
you
it's
know?
good.
Yeah.
It's a good direction.
So the next one you're going to be happy with is Cody Rhodes comes out with his another contract. Uh,
What's your
look,
issue with this, Keith?
no, look. The only issue is I'm sick of these contracts signings.
Not
There's too
Cody's
many of
fault,
them.
Keith. Not
I
Cody's
know,
fault.
I know, I know, I know.
Right.
It's
All right. Just so
TKO.
we have that established.
No, no, no. It's not. No, nothing to do with Cody. It's nothing to do with Cody. But no, you can rest easy there, Brandon. No, it's just to do with this whole contract. There's too many of them. It's been happening too often. It's just like rinse and repeat. That's the only issue I have. But other than that, really good promo segment. Gunter
Mhm.
coming out, saying his bit, and then he's backtracking on what he's saying then and what he's going to do. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Royce Keys comes out.
Mwah.
I was like, what the hell's going on here? And then he says, if you're not going to sign this, I will.
Mwah.
And then he goes down, he tries to sign it, and then Gunter runs over. And it's like, what is going on here? So then you knew it was setting up for, a number one contenders match. It's like, all right, this would be good. So they're obviously high on Royce Keys at the moment. So what did you make of all this? I'll leave this in your court, my friend.
Appreciate that, Keith, because I've got a little bit to say. And can we just give Cody Rhodes his flowers for what he did this week? He started a segment, and also as well, this is the best segment, one of the best segments in WWE this year. Period. Cody coming down, setting up the contract, signing himself. It
Yeah,
was
when he threw
brilliant.
the yeah with the
I was
table
like,
and all.
I
Yeah,
was like, what's he doing? What's he doing? Why is he doing
what's he
this?
doing?
Is this going to be a fight? And then he set up, and then just what you describe what pursued after it. What a great twist. Inserting Royce Keys into this, and Keys holding his own as well,
Yeah.
holding his own on the mic, and the way it was handled. To me, this was one of the best segments of the year. I don't normally say this, but bravo, WWE. It's not something, or ChatGPT. Bravo. Whoever wrote it, WWE or ChatGPT, bravo to you, because this was a cool segment, and I really, really like this. Um, yeah, phenomenal. Look, and just to your point on the contract signings, look, it's part of wrestling. Unfortunately, it's done too often. They go to the well too much on it.
That's the only issue I
Um,
had with this.
could be worse though, Keith. It could be an open challenge. There you go.
Oh, have we had that this year, Bren? Have we? I can't remember.
You go.
Look, it was a good segment. It's probably one of the highlights of the whole show, if I'm being
Hands
honest
down.
with you. And it was a good little twist to it, I have to say. So well done, whoever came up with that segment. But the next one then we have is Carmelo Hayes versus Ricky Saints. Decent match. I like seeing Carmelo Hayes coming back. Great to see him back. Hopefully they use him properly now going forward, whatever they're going to do with him. Ricky Saints coming out again with no fan reaction. Look, like we spoke about earlier on during the backstage segment, he's going to really have to step up and do something different now, I think, to be honest with you. And whatever that may be, I don't know. But Carmelo Hayes gets the win. So, what did you make of this match anyway, overall?
Well, this podcast is brought to you by Zero Cola, Tesco's.
Battery acid.
Listen, man, I'm going to talk about the positives of this because I thought there was a really good positive here. Carmelo Hayes is back. Hurrah, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Carmelo Hayes was man of the match here. He was brilliant. That frog splash that he did was special.
Great,
it was
wasn't
absolutely incredible. So, look, yeah, the whole thing with Ricky Saints, we covered at the start. So I'm just gonna focus on how good was Carmelo Hayes here. How good is it to have Carmelo Hayes back? This was absolutely sensational. Delighted to see Carmelo Hayes, and I will be talking to Dave about it on Tuesday on Pro Wrestling Weekly. He was such a big deal in AEW. You know what I mean? And this always seems to be the way. You're big in AEW doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be big in WWE. So what is this? Is AEW the small pond here? WWE the massive worldly river? I think that's what we're looking
Brent,
at here.
To be honest with you, in my opinion, the WWE fans like me and yourself have been watching it for over 30 years. They kind of dedicate it to the one company, I feel, a lot of the times, and they don't really probably pay attention to maybe AEW an awful lot or to TNA an awful lot, and they just care about the one company. Do you know what I mean? If you understand what I mean, like, so maybe
it's
a lot
football.
of people don't.
It's like football. You're a Liverpool guy. I'm a Manchester United guy, right? So chances are, statistically, I'm going to watch more United games than you are, and you're going to watch more Liverpool games than I am.
Yeah,
and vice versa. No, look, I know that, and the thing about it is, admittedly, I do watch WWE a hell of a lot more than I watch AEW. Will that change? Possibly. I can see it changing. AEW are doing some good things, and I am paying attention to them. Don't get me wrong. When MJF is on that screen, I'm watching and I'm
he's
listening.
money, absolute money.
You know what I mean? And it's just when they bring back Tony Storm, I'll be watching and I'll be listening. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And there's a couple of other things as well. I think as soon as AEW, and I know this, we're not talking about AEW, but as soon as they get rid of the Young Bucks, and I hate to say it, Hangman Page, get rid of them. Send them off to the
Moxley
Indies.
is near enough there as well for me.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
I only say that, you know why? I only say that because I want to see one last reunion with the Shield. That's the
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't think Mox cares, to be honest with you.
No, he doesn't.
That's the truth.
But look at it this way. Look at the amount of wrestlers back in the day that they said they'll never go back to WWE, and look what happened.
I met John Moxley once.
So did I. Yeah. It's a bit of a weird cat, to be honest.
Oh, I loved him.
I found him a bit of a weird cat, to be honest.
I really liked him because I walked up and I was like, "Hey, man, I loved your book," because I did. I actually really liked his book. Very cool. And he was like, "Okay, dude, thanks for coming. Good to see you." All that stuff. Anyways, look, we'll see what happens. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent there, but I will be speaking to Dave about it.
You're right. Well, before we go on to the next segment, do you want to get some comments in so it doesn't overflow?
Oh, yes, please. Yeah. Let's get some comments in. Let's see what the crack is. Chelsea is sounder rated. I think she means overrated, maybe. Keith,
now, Sharon,
give it over with my superstar.
No, I mean, Sharon, I mean just with the whole contract signing. I can't. It's just getting a bit repetitive now. That's the only thing. Other than that, it was a great segment.
Two Barbies against each other, says Anto. Tiffy versus Blake Monroe. Is this what we want to see? Is this what we want to see? Let's see what happens, because there are segments with Blake Monroe, and we'll see what happens there. I thought the Cody segment was good, but I agree with what Keith says Dara, about the contracts, no doubt. But Cody was phenomenal. Absolutely love Keys. Cody will get Keys over because they're very close friends and they're both deadly. I thought it was great by come here. Probably one of the best segments. Cody can multitask. Of course he can. He's QB1. He's not QB4. He's not Mark Cardona slipping off to catering or Disneyland. I'm only messing. Look, Cardona's a legend. I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't have said that. It was low hanging fruit. I apologize. And you're doing better than me, Matt. So fair play to you. Sharon Lynch, I was wondering what the hell was doing with the chairs at the table. It was so good. Open challenges can piss me off.
Open challenge
too. I love Mello, but he's getting a nice to hear from the sponsors, Brand, of course, Dara. But that's not all. We're also sponsored by River Bar, just off O'Connell Bridge, under the Heineken building. Great drinks, amazing food, best in town, and the greatest staff of all time. River Bar. Anyway, thanks for the reminder.
Nice
Dara.
little plug there, Bren.
Layla said, "Smash the likes, bitches," says Layla. Thank you, Layla. As always, you are a superstar. Oh God, Brent, cheating on the ex-Cola, shameful. I know. I know. Mello is indeed money, Dave. 30 years, that's a very long time. Sharon, if you rewind, you should see my face expression when he says 30 years. I'm like, whoa, calm down on the age stuff, Keith. Great to have Mello back. Mello for IC champ when Penta is done. Let's see what happens. Two different brands though, right? It depends on how many WWE talents go to AEW. Yeah, because the New Day, or should we say the New Doomsday, maybe.
Is that what they're called now, is it?
Maybe. Bren, how are you? A United fan? Because you're not an asshole. Whoa.
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 Jesus. Fucking shots taken there.
Shots taken. Anto, I appreciate your honesty. Football can have cesspool fans, as you know. Harsh on that. David was, and to be fair, it was just low hanging fruit on my part, because as Sharon says, Cardona is indeed amazing. And that is it from the comments, my man.
Look, I know we're not going to touch on every backstage segment because there's a lot to get through for SmackDown, but this one I had to touch on because Danhausen backstage was fucking hilarious for this couple of seconds he was there.
Yeah, he was trying to clone himself, and I think this is going to be it's got to be a bigger angle because he brought in a body, and the body is going to be a big man. So we're going to get.
It's like Frankenstein. It's like the Frankenstein movie to me.
That's exactly what they're going for. This is the kind of character Danhausen is, and let's see who we get, because look,
Festus.
this could go 2 ways. Better not. This could go 2 ways. Either this will be disastrous and it will kill Danhausen's momentum, which I doubt, or it's going to be amazing. And I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to
be amazing. Look, he's just gold at the moment.
Now, Keith, if you're touching on Danhausen, I will not have you glaze over our friend R-Truth and some of the things. First of all, he calls Damian Priest DP. Phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. Judgment Day 2000. Fill out some application forms. Let's join Judgment Day. Yeah. Judgment Day 2000. Phenomenal. Oh, yeah. Damien, we now know that Damien doesn't trust Keys, but then also when he walks off, he's like, "I love you." It was just phenomenal. Anyway, sorry.
No, Bren, I don't know. Look, that was a great backstage segment, I have to say. But you know what else was great as well? Actually, no, it wasn't that great. I'm thinking of it now. Do you know what needs to be cut and just sliced for next week? And they've made a match for it. Shinsuke Nakamura backstage yet again with Tama Tonga. Like, where is this going, lads? Like, is this eventually going to end? Like, are we just going to absolutely just plumas this for so many more months? Like,
I think it's gone on too long. It's gone on way too long, and I think they've kind of killed it. So no matter what happens, I don't think it's going to be met brilliantly, and I think it's dead in the water. Now, in saying that, let's hope I'm wrong, because I love Shinsuke Nakamura. He's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And I think there's potential in it. I remember it originally happened, and I was on the show with Emma, and I was saying this could be phenomenal. But that was, to put into perspective, that was about 5 months ago, I think, 4 or 5 months ago. You know, it's getting ridiculous. Again, you have to pull the trigger ASAP sometimes.
Look, again, like, you know, it just, not everything needs to be a long storytelling at the end of the day. Do you know, it's all right having a month or two of, storylines and then just ending it after that. But I just feel like it's going a bit too long now at this stage. Well, Judgment 2.0.
Yeah.
Oh, look who it is. The fella that couldn't join us, the part timer himself.
To be fair, he was getting maxed out today. I know how busy the man is. Dave, stay tuned because we're going to talk about that, and I am going to give my opinion on that. So let's see what happens with that, right? So, yeah, and that's a great show. Absolutely no need. The career killer thing. Career killer came up on his Titantron when he came out, which means they're not getting rid of it. They're
No.
keeping it there, which is going to be a pain in the arse. Thanks for bringing that up, Sharon, because I forgot about it. Dave, you and Gunther can piss off, says Anton. Or anyway, go on,
Shots
go on.
fired.
Sorry, go on.
Look, the next match, anyways, it was Damien versus Tonga himself. So it was an okay match, I thought. Priest came out on top, and then obviously there was a beatdown then with Solo and Tonga. Yeah, what did you make of this, Brian? Are you enjoying this? How are you feeling? Are you just like,
It was
nah?
Look, it was okay. Look, it was just to set up the tag team match eventually. Damien Priest went over, got the win or whatever. The lads came down. R-Truth didn't appear. They foreshadowed it when you can't come down because you're injured. All
Mm.
that stuff and all that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, look, it was what it was, and it's just there to set up the tag team match. So that's all I got.
Yeah, look, that's all I got to say as well. Like, unfortunately, we touched base about this tag team stuff before. They've killed the tag team division in the men's division. It's sad to see, to be honest with you. I'm hoping that they revive it at some stage and make it really good as it used to be. But look, we'll see. But no, there's another backstage segment I wanted to touch on because it kind of annoyed me at this point. But I know you're a fan of his. Sami Zayn backstage giving out when Johnny Gargano was there doing his usual stuff every week, and it's like, what is going on at this point with this guy? Like, are they just doing it for a comedy skit? Are they actually going somewhere with this fella, or have they just
No,
don't give a shit?
here, no. Here's the thing, Johnny G. I don't think the main roster in WWE is not the main roster. The main writers in WWE are capable enough to write for somebody as good as Johnny G.
Mm.
And that's all there is to it. If I'm Johnny G, I request to go back down to NXT and I work with Shawn Michaels and I rule the roost there because, as it stands, the main roster writers will have no idea this guy's sleeping on boxes since like last year, since late last year. Don't want to know
Mm.
about it. Don't want to hear about it. It wasn't even funny to begin with. It's not funny now. This was just this was terrible. Look, by the way, I also love Sami Zayn character change. He's all asked for Sami Zayn's character change. It's coming and it's happening slowly, methodically, and brilliantly. And I bet you are still going to complain about it. But either way, the character change is coming. It's right in front of us, and Sammy is playing a blinder with it. Johnny G, please send him back down to NXT because he deserves to do something that's worth it, something that's good because he is Johnny Wrestling. He can go, he can talk, and he's bloody brilliant. And he's just an unfortunate casualty of this chat GPT generation of writers. You know what I mean? And even if ChatGPT isn't writing the stories, I bet you the writers are putting stuff into ChatGPT to see what the crack is, because this is a lot of bullshit. Sorry.
Even put him over to Raw or something, Bren. Like
No.
even like put him
So he can
against
go asleep
Penta
on
or
a raw
something.
box.
No, just get rid of the whole stupid thing that they're doing with him, but put him over to Raw or something like that. Face him against Penta or something like that for the
But this
IC
is another
title.
thing. This is
Mm.
another thing, Keith, that they're dragging out and they're dragging out and they're dragging out, and then it's just going to get pissed on as soon as it's executed. They can ask my balls. I am done with this. It's got to go down to NXT because by the time they pull the trigger on this, who cares? Who gives a rat's arse? It's absolute bullshit at
It's
this
like that with
stage.
most things now, isn't it? Do
Johnny
you
G
know?
deserves better. Absolute horrendous.
Yeah,
Anyway,
like
rant over.
rant over. Look, the next one I wasn't really a fan of. Jade coming out anyway with the Goon Squad, as I like to call them now, coming out and basically cutting a promo. She's still terrible at doing a promo for my liking. I just look. She has everything going for her. We talk about this.
Eh,
She has everything going for her. She has the look, but I just can't connect with Jade Cargill at all, to be honest. But look, Charlotte came out and then cut a decent promo along with Alexa Bliss, and then they started a match and all this. But oh look, look, cut a good. It was a good, decent match, but at the end of it all, I just don't care. I really don't care. Like,
Okay, couple of notes on this. First of all, they need to acknowledge the outside world, right? Rhea Ripley is clearly back in Australia with our fella, right? We know this, you know.
hmm,
Does Jade Cargill not follow social media on WWE? Does she not follow her fellows? Right. So she's clearly in Australia, so she was never going to be there. And Jade comes out and she's like, "Well, as soon as I boot somebody, they go silent very quick." No, no, they. Unfortunately, Jade, Rhea went to HR and she took a week off. All right, she put it off a day
hmm.
off request form and it was granted. So piss off with that. Charlotte filling in the blanks. Here's my take on this. The reason they're running this match back is to fill time to build up towards Charlotte versus Rhea. Charlotte's more than likely going to get the title at SummerSlam.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
That's
But
what
do
I
you think?
think.
But do you
Right?
think as well they're kind of teasing the Jade and Charlotte match as well?
Yeah, yeah. But maybe that's the match at SummerSlam, and it builds up. Either way, it's going to be Jade versus Charlotte. Charlotte's going to beat
Mm.
Jade, and she's going to then, and she's going to be the number one contender, and she'll go off and have the match then, and she'll hopefully win. Because I don't mind. I think Charlotte has been, she's been sitting back for a long time now. Give her the limelight again. She's quality, absolute quality.
Yeah. No. In fairness, she's doing a good job on her face run at the moment. I have to say, and I'm surprised we
Ooh.
haven't gotten like a torn between the two girls yet. Maybe they did. Maybe we just want to keep them around for another while, and maybe till
No,
SummerSlam, maybe or something. Who knows?
well, Keith, that's refreshing because
Oh, it
we're
is.
always
No, I'm not saying.
expecting.
I'm
We're
I'm
always.
not
I
saying
know, I
anything
know,
bad
I know.
about it.
You're not
Yeah,
saying you
yeah,
have anything against it.
yeah,
I understand that, but it's
yeah.
refreshing to see that. Maybe they don't turn on each other. Maybe it's like let's look in the future. All the
Mm.
best. I'm off to another brand now to knock the balls out of this person. You enjoy yourself here, and I'll see you in a bit. Maybe. Let's see what happens. But I think that split's coming. But we'll see what happens. Either way, this ends with Charlotte as champion beating Rhea Ripley,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
100%. And then we went on. There was a little segment then for Jacob and Roman Reigns for the Raw last week. I was kind of disappointed. I thought we were going to get Jacob this week on SmackDown. I thought we were going to get a bit more of the storyline progressing. But look, maybe they're just going to save something big then for Raw that's coming up for it. Just gave him a night off for it. So they did that, and then there was a backstage segment then with Royce Keys and Solo. What did you make of this, Bren?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's something going on there, but except I think it's just to start a feud between them, to be honest with you. That's it. Because you see what happened at the end of the main events. You know what I mean? It
Mm,
kind of gives Reese an
touchdown
out.
day, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keys and out. So it's like that. I think it's just progression. It's just basically, it's clever though. It kind of dilutes it, and you're thinking, oh, what's going to happen here? And I do like these kind of twists and turns, like, and I like the fact that they acknowledge their past and all that. Let's see what
Mhm.
happens.
Yeah, look, let's see what happens between the two of them. It could be a good match. I just, again, just with everything that's happening on SmackDown, I just hope they don't prolong it too long before they have a match. I don't think they will, but you just never know with WWE at the moment. But look, let's get to some comments before we get to the main event.
Alrighty, let's see. Dave's in again. He will lose his credibility even more in the bin. They destroyed Gunter.
Yeah,
They have. I have to agree with you,
yeah,
Dave.
like
Does
I
that
can't
mean
disagree with them. Yeah.
if he beats Cody, his career? So okay. So before we touch on the main event, I'm just going to say it. I actually think Cody's losing in Italy. I think Cody is losing in Italy. There's no career on the line technically, but this is where they've kind of pigeonholed themselves, and this is where it gets a bit silly. But I unfortunately I think Cody is losing, but we'll see what happens. Can we just get Tala versus Damian Priest? Not Tala, as in where we're used to think Keith is from, but Tala. Keith's not from Tala, by the way. I used to think he was. So jot
No.
that down. Gunther only going after Cody because Brock left after WrestleMania. No one else retiring at the moment. Lads,
Well, there
men,
was talk of Rey Mysterio at one point, wasn't there? Retiring.
the, yeah. Well, Ando brings up something interesting here. Lads, men have two tag titles, women only have one. Anto, I don't believe men should have two sets of tag team titles, and I do believe that there should only be one set of titles, and I think they should get rid of the brand extension, and I think it should be sink or swim for the wrestler, because they're cutting the roster every year. How about just basically bring the brands back together, sink or swim? If you're not drawing, you're out of here. It's as simple as that. Treat it like a real job. You know
So
what I
you're
mean?
you're
Because
taking it like the old school way of when they had very few titles and not
yeah,
more. Like yeah, so you just
absolutely,
want the way we used to
absolutely,
watch it back in the day, where it was only an
hundred
IC tag
percent.
title and WF title.
100%.
Yeah,
Maybe a European title, throw it in there. He can only go
yeah.
to AEW. Um, it's because Randy was injured why Gunter is in that spot. Yeah, very good. You're dead right. Um, so I actually think what's going to happen is Cody loses to Gunter. Randy comes back and basically gets a title shot against Gunter. And I think Gunter's going to be a transitional champion to give Randy his number 15. That's my
So
opinion.
let's say if Gunter goes on and wins, right, and beats Cody, what are you going to with SummerSlam not that far away, only a couple of months away? What are you going to do with Cody then?
What are you going to do with Cody? Well, Niall's been talking about it for weeks on Pro Wrestling Weekly. Maybe not. Maybe Cody answers the U.S. Open Challenge. Maybe he gets the belt to match his tattoo on his neck, and maybe he goes mid card for a while. You
I
know what I
wouldn't
mean?
mind that. To be honest
He
with you,
was the
I'd
he was
be
the
I'd
be-
be good with that.
he's the best TNT champion of all time in AEW. There you go. I
Yeah.
said it. Deal with it, AEW. Cody was the best AEW. Sorry, TNT champion of all
Non-biased,
time.
obviously.
Definitely non-biased. Anyone other than Gunter, Poxy contract. If Gunter wins, Cody leaves, or something other that I don't think that's going to happen. Thank you to Jesus. Forgive my ignorance, but is Talatanga any use? Was he in Japan? He was in Japan.
He was,
Anybody with
yeah,
that
before
face
he went.
paint, looking like I don't know, this stupid looking face paint. Anyway, in fairness, Keith, you have said it from a long time back about Jade that he
Yeah.
has. Reaching and be sad. I probably unintentional, but very good. Turned on Jade at WrestleMania. Jade should be
He's sad.
banned off the mic. Chelsea spanked him on the mic. Of course she does. She's absolutely phenomenal. Bonkers is in. Is Fatal Influence winning the tag title soon? Yeah, it was hinted at actually in a backstage
Mm-hmm.
segment. Maybe they are
Yeah.
100%, and that would make sense then having Charlotte go off and do the go off against Rhea Ripley. So we'll see what happens. I would love Charlotte to beat the living crap out of Jade. I think you're going to see that. Fatal Influence equals terrible, says Anto.
Oh.
Wow. I actually really liked them because, as you know, I covered NXT for a while on the Bren NXT show that nobody watched. Thanks for that. The Bren NXT show, right?
Let's give him a
Um,
virtual hug.
and and Fatal Influence were an absolute joy to watch. I think Rhea and Lash Legend would be excellent. Yeah, 100%, and I think
That's
you're
another
going to
one
see
they
it as
need.
well.
They need to get Lash Legend away from Nia Jax, I think, eventually, at some point soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sharon followed up from that. No interference, just two women going at it. Give Cody the Intercontinental US title. Yes, completely agree with you
Yeah,
there. I'm just
100%.
happy to see
Yeah.
Cody. I like Fatal Influence, me too, bonkers. I think they're bleeding deadly. They're rapid. I was watching them for weeks. So there you go, Keith. That's the comments, my man.
No worries. So, Bren, look, we'll get to the main event now, and it's Gunter versus Royce Keys at the end of it all for who's going to be the number one contender to face Cody
Before
Rhodes.
you touch on that, for anybody who likes basketball, stick around. Go ahead, Keith.
Oh, yeah. So the main event, anyways, for number one contenders title match for the WWE title, it was Royce Keys versus Gunter. I thought it was a solid match, good match, to be honest. I liked it. Solo coming out then to try help Royce Keys, and I thought it was funny when he threw the chair at fucking
It
Solo's
was
face.
hilarious.
It was fucking brilliant. I thought it was funny. And then obviously then we got Gunter then winning then at the end, and he became the number one contenders champ, if you want to say that. And then Cody Rhodes comes out and then attacks him and then ends SmackDown. What did you make of this, my friend?
Yeah, man, I thought it was good. The match was good. Not Gunter's best but at all, but
Yeah,
the match was decent. And listen, after the main event we had last week, this was 5 stars. This was unbelievable. This was WrestleMania 17,
100%.
19,
Yeah,
15. This was all wrapped
yeah,
in one. Because last week's
yeah.
main event was pants. Gingerbread man, my bollocks. Listen, this was what it was. It was good. It just progressed the story. We can now build towards the Italian pay per view, in which we will be watching on a watch along. We will be live watching the Italian pay per view. Do join us, good, bad, or indifferent. We will make it better. What did you think of it anyway? I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good ending, to be honest with you. 100% fucking much better than last week's. God, do you know what? When we do our end of year review, I think that whole, gingerbread man thing is probably going to be up there as one of the worst things to see this year. 100%, like, I think.
Oh well, it
But
already
you
has
know,
my vote. It's going to be it's going to be the worst segment of the year. You want to talk about bad segment? Like. Let's face it as well, Keith. SmackDown overall, it hasn't been great. It's been hard to cover. You know what I mean?
it's a lot of
Um,
filler, isn't it? In there,
it's a
like there's
lot
been
of
good.
filler,
It's
and
been good
it's not
segments
standing
to
up.
it, but yeah, there's some decent segments in between it, but I think it's very hard to get through, to be honest with you. And you know what, as well, I was thinking when I was watching SmackDown this week, SmackDown is really missing Randy Orton at the moment. I
Which shouldn't be
feel
the case, Keith. It shouldn't be the case, and
no,
I totally agree with you. Randy Orton debuted in 2002. We are in 2026. We shouldn't be saying SmackDown is missing star from 2026. We should be
yeah,
saying it would be lovely to see Randy back because we love Randy, but
hmm
SmackDown is stellar. But instead, we're saying we need Randy to make SmackDown better, which is a pain in the arse.
it is, and it's like the old trope from years ago. They're relying on the old guard to get them through days like this, where we need to get Randy back and help make the show a bit better to watch and be a bit more palatable. But look, it's not overall terrible to watch. There is some good points to SmackDown. I would give it about 6, 7 out of 10 this week.
Look, I wasn't mad on it, to be honest with you. There was some good points, and I know I talked a bit positive about it, but I wasn't entirely mad on it.
No,
There's a comment in here actually that says, I'll get to it actually, 2 seconds. Fatal Influence is great on NXT, but not on SmackDown, says Anto. Um, Cody will go back to get the Grand Slam. Yeah, speaking of Grand Slam, let's get to the Grandmaster Solace, who says, hello, Grandmaster Solace.
what's the story,
What
man?
is the crack? That was one of the worst SmackDown shows I have ever seen. Give us
Yeah,
an example, Grandmaster Solace. Give us an example. What did you hate about it? Oh, I don't think it was one of the worst I've ever seen. I thought last week's SmackDown was one of the worst I've ever seen.
he might be talking about that, was it? He could have been talking about that,
No,
maybe.
no, no. I
No.
actually think he's thinking about this. So do let us know, Brent and Keith.
Wow.
You both are the main event. Thank you. Do you know what?
Oh,
And do you
thank
know
you very
what we
much.
are? We are. And in fact, Pro Wrestling Weekly on this channel goes live this Tuesday, 8 o'clock, and you better believe the main eventers of the upper tier will be on it. Keith and Noel. I'll be there too. Hey, I'm only messing. It must have been written or booked by AI. Funny enough, Grandmaster Solace, that's what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
AI, it's not great, and even if they're not relying on AI, some of the writers are definitely using it. So we'll see what happens. Watching Royce and Gunther talk to each other through the whole match was the funniest thing I've ever seen in wrestling. I think that's happening a lot, though, isn't it?
It's, do
It's
you know what the
happening a
problem?
lot.
Do you know what the problem is there, Brent? It's because all the rings are mic'd, and it's very easy to pick up on it. Do you know?
So maybe have the mics reduced, but Grandmaster
Yeah.
Solace is saying this is guaranteed to be under 1 million in viewership numbers. It'll be the fourth under 1 million viewers this year, which is an interesting stat, not one that I knew. Randy
No.
is not medically cleared. We are aware of that, my man or woman. We are very, very clear of that. Absolutely phenomenal. When he is going to be cleared, let's see what happens with that. With all the talent out there, we should not be relying on that. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought SmackDown was great this week, says Anto. And he reckons we're setting the bar too high. Our expectations are too high, and that could be an argument. That could be a debate to have.
It
It
could
could be a
be.
debate to have.
Yeah.
I thought this week was much better overall, 7 or 8 out of 10. Dave,
Look.
I could have a wrestling match out in my back garden in my big trampoline with one of my kids, and it would be better than last week's SmackDown. That's how good SmackDown was last week. Or you could literally have a wrestling match. Screw it. I could take the rake or the shovel and have a wrestling match with the rake or the shovel out there, and it would be better than last week's SmackDown. What a pain in the arse that was. AI should probably sponsor SmackDown soon. Wouldn't
But you
be
know what, Brent?
surprised.
There's still another halfway to go for this year, so something else could fucking shock you over that gingerbread
Let's
man
see.
thing.
And SmackDown's about to get a lot worse because this is the rumor, Acers. This is the rumor that Teddy Long is coming back, the player,
Yeah.
Mister Multi Tag Team matches every second match himself is coming back. Or and in that case, Keith, I assume the Undertaker's coming back because you can't have Teddy Long without Teddy Long punishing somebody with the Undertaker. So we'll
Oh,
see what
speaking of someone
happens.
that hates the Undertaker, the
Hello,
main man
Niall. Good to
himself.
see you, my man. Good to see you.
What's the crack?
We did touch on this earlier on. Absolute cracker of a day. What a day it was. And as I say, keep an eye on the channel for the next event. So smash those likes. So Keith, I apologize. So SmackDown, again, not one of my favorites. We'll see what happens. Yes, Dave, Teddy Long, not Teddy Long. Smash that likes, people. Hola. And
Nah.
then I'd pay for that, Bren. You versus the rake, 20 quid. Anto, chances are the rake would win. That's a fact,
Should
Jack.
do it outside your back garden since it looks like it's in the Phoenix Park. Just saying.
Give over. Give over. I don't think Teddy's coming back. Teddy is 78 years old. I would agree. I think that rumor is highly
Is he that
doubtful. The
old
words
now?
I was
Is
going to
he
use.
78? Wow.
Plus, so you'll have somebody switching on SmackDown one day and say, "Oh, they're showing 2008 episodes of SmackDown. This should be interesting." Anyway, Keith,
Look,
SmackDown is over. Let's talk.
SmackDown is over. I have a big announcement, anyways. So me and Dave, we're not going to be starting this until October, unfortunately, folks, because the season is over with. But it's in the playoffs at the moment. So we're going to be starting to do a NBA channel of our own. And what's this? I didn't, Niall.
Mwah! Mwah! Anyway, we'll get on with the announcement. It's more like Stephen's Green.
Steve Greenberg, yeah.
So you and Dave are doing what in October?
Yeah, we're going to be starting up our own NBA channel basically in October. So that's when the whole series, the season comes back is in October. So the playoffs are on at the moment, but we're going to be doing probably a couple of shorts in that. I will have a couple of shorts out for that tomorrow. But yeah, we will be doing that, and we will also be covering a few of the summer trades as well during the summer. But yeah, come actual October itself, me and Dave will be starting our own NBA show. We don't know exactly yet when we're going to be starting or what day. We will be talking throughout the whole summer about that, and we'll be covering everything. We'll be covering the current NBA stuff through the whole injury list, through the shocking moments that are going to happen. And we'll also be covering the old classic stuff as well throughout the whole thing as well. But if you're an NBA fan, please join in. Me and Dave have a lot of experience chatting about the NBA. And if you want to know a bit more about the NBA itself, please join us as well, because it's going to be great crack.
I cannot wait for this, Keith. Again, look, I'm not a basketball guy. I am not. But it's great. It should be a blast. Keep an eye out for it because it's in good hands with Keith and Dave. I know nothing about basketball, but guess what? I am going to college in October, a la Keith and Dave, and I'm going to learn all about basketball, and that's how it's going to get down 100%. So well done on that, Keith, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, look for myself.
So we finish out with some comments, will we?
Undertaker was phenomenal and meant to wrestler for you. Jeez.
That's a very good name, Ando, not the
Yeah.
Undertaker. Very good. Good luck with the new show, lads. Will that mean we lose the SmackDown show, Keith?
No.
Keith will be in breach of his SmackDown Motel contract if he misses a show for the basketball show. And that just means that Bren goes all the way, not to Tala, but to where Keith lives, and lays a smack it down on him. And then probably get battered by Keith. Undertaker and wrestler is a stretch. Oh, yes. Bren, I watched all the new Scrubs. They're deadly. Do you know what? Surprisingly enough, I'm yet to watch them, and me and Dave will be back. We will be back. Aaron Slot leaving Liverpool? No,
has that been confirmed?
Has
it? Has that been confirmed, Acers?
Niall, if you're watching, has that been confirmed? Acers, is that 100%? Shocker.
I hope it is.
Keith, you'll be talking about Space Jam in your NBA videos because I think Dara went to see Space Jam today. I think.
The second one. Look, Dara, we'll be talking about every. Well,
no, I think he went to see Space Jam in the cinema today because Space Jam is released.
Is it in the cinema? I didn't realize it's in the cinema.
Man, well, you did because I put it in the chat 2 weeks ago when you commented on it.
Then I didn't. I forgot about it. Sorry.
Gentlemen, there's Grandmaster Solace. Endeavor, I said that word wrong today. I said Endeavor. Endeavor, WWE are starting house shows because the young talent are botching too much in the main card. Sol Ruka has had 5 botches in 2 segments she had on Raw. I did see more house shows are coming up, so let's see what happens. Bren, how do you watch AEW? It's confusing. I don't want to go to all in clueless. So AEW, there's a couple of ways to watch it, Anto. I will let Dave explain it. He's better at it. but also I'll be in touch with you to explain how when I find out. Derby's a must-see TV. Wow, Derby's in.
Wow.
No, sorry, Grandmaster Solace is in. Derby's new run is must-see TV. Do you reckon, Grandmaster Solace, that them jumping around on a golf course was good? I'm not dissing it. I'm not dissing it. I'm not in a position to diss it because, to be fair, I haven't seen it yet. It's on my to-do list. So do you actually think it was good? I've just seen mixed reviews of it. That's all. But that's an interesting comment. Good, you're one of the main events on this show.
Oh,
100%,
thank you
Keith.
very much.
Rumors, lads.
I
Nothing's
hope it's
confirmed.
true, Niall. Jesus, I hope it is true. Just get rid of him.
This is the fourth time. So normally on the football shows on the upper tier, it turns into a bit of a wrestling show at times. This is the fourth time a wrestling show
Yeah,
has turned into a bit of a
the
football show, which is fitting due to the day that I've had. Bring on Alonso. There you go. Says
Well, he's
Niall.
going to Chelsea, isn't he?
Oh my God. Says Niall that likes that slapper Morgan, who can't even wrestle.
Oh. And this is called
wow.
the SmackDown show. So, like, you know.
Now Liv Morgan watches this, so Liv, that's not my opinion. I know Liv Morgan watches this, so it's not my opinion.
She'd be after you, Brad, I'm telling you.
Oh, she's gonna kick my head in. Alonso is Chelsea manager, says Acers. Liv Morgan wrestled more in the last year than that lad in 15
years.
Talking about the Undertaker, obviously. Saturday night main event next weekend. Card has got awful. Acers, we're going to be touching on the card this Tuesday live on Pro Wrestling Weekly. We'll kick off at 8 o'clock, as you well know, my friend. That's a stretch. Judgment Day was watchable when she was out. Wow. It's kicking off. It's kicking off.
Do you know, Anto, we spoke about this in the comments. I just want Judgment Day gone at this stage, to be honest with you.
Perez and Raquel have been fantastic. Unbelievable. And
I think Perez is going to get a title by SummerSlam. I really do.
So Sharon agrees with Anto as well. Sharon's saying, look, just because she's wrestling more, that doesn't mean she's any good. This is an interesting topic. We will cover it this week on Pro Wrestling Weekly. Let's do it. Let's have the debate this week about Liv Morgan. Pro Wrestling Weekly this Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Tune in. Football show with Marky and Niall Monday, 9 o'clock, and then Thursday football show with Daz and Niall at 9 o'clock. Always a cracker of a show.
And then we're Tuesday. We're Tuesday as well at 8.
We're Tuesday, but Niall has a watch along on Wednesday. There's some kind of foosball match on Wednesday, I believe.
Oh.
So yeah, you should know. Liverpool are playing.
It's to do with the. I think it's to do with the Europa League. Is it? Is it Europa League that's on? Is it, or that Thursday?
Niall will fill us in on the channel.
Yeah.
Lads, very harsh on the Undertaker. Not me. Not me. I haven't said anything. Yeah, Dom is a box ball. Dom is one of the best things in wrestling today.
What are they doing with Dom Mysterio lately? You haven't been doing much with him, haven't they?
Look, let's give them a chance here. It's the Europa League final, says Acers. No, look, I'm more than willing to give Dom time and give Dom a chance. I love Dom. I think he's fantastic, and let's see what they do with him. He's future world champ. So 100%. Let's see what happens there. Ronda Rousey fight tonight on Netflix. That's been a bit strange, hasn't it, Acers? It's been a bit strange. Liv Morgan is great. So are Raquel and Roxanne. Totally agree with you, Bonkers. Yeah. He should F off and stick with the AAA.
Oh, that's one to end it on, isn't it? To F off. Look, and there's also a rumor as well, which I'm delighted with, is Stephanie Vaquer is coming back this Monday, which I hope it's true. But the reason is because I want her to continue on with Liv Morgan, and I really enjoyed that storyline. But we'll see what happens come Monday. Let's hope Raw is a good week this week compared to SmackDown. But no, lads, listen, it was great chatting to you all. Like we said, the Monday mashup, Niall's going to be part of that. And then Tuesday, we will be a part of the wrestling podcast as always, and the panel should hopefully you'll get a good full panel as well. Myself, you, Niall, Dave probably, and the two Seans, you know. But look, we'll see what happens there. But look, overall, what a great show. Thank you, Bren, for chatting with me, and thanks for everybody else for coming in. And what's this? Oh God, I fucking hope so. I just want her back, to be honest with you, Sharon. I really do. I miss her.
Ah, Jesus, thanks, Anto. That means the world as always. And then the last comment, good night, all, says
Have
Dave.
a good one, lads. Listen, thanks very much for joining us all, lads. And look, we look forward to seeing you next week. And also, we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of SmackDown as well. Anything to end there, Brennan, on your behalf? Do you want to say anything else?
Good night and God bless. See you
Good
all
night
on
and
the
God
next
bless,
show.
lads.
All the best.